we all give up so much to chase this crazy racing thing. And I think our emotions just show how much hard work goes into it, especially for the guys. They all, from when they were little boys, just dreamed about winning, right? And that's the
Yeah.
ultimate goal every week.
Welcome to Believe in the Good with Haley Dillon, the podcast where we go beyond the track and into the lives of NASCAR wives, families, and the incredible community that keeps this sport moving. Here, we're all about the stories that fuel us, the highs, the lows, the grit, the grace, and the goodness we find along the way. So buckle up, because we're diving into real conversations, behind-the-scenes moments, and the kind of inspiration that reminds us, no matter what, there's always good to be found. So let's hit the gas and let's get into it. Kenzie Hemric, as online, you're Kenzie Rustin Hemric.
Yes.
I was looking up your stats and
Oh,
your
goodness.
racing career. So yesterday, I'm talking to Ty. I'm like, we were coordinating today and everything. And I'm like, I'm interviewing Kenzie tomorrow. And he
Yeah.
was like, oh man, are you going to ask her about like racing and all of that? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm planning on it. And he was like, babe, she has like an insane racing history. He was like you wouldn't believe the immense respect he has for you and your
Oh,
racing journey. And
yeah.
he was just like, babe, she did this and this. And I mean, he was like rattling off the things that you had done. And I was just like, man, okay, I need to do a little more research here, because to me, I'm just like, we're just girlfriends that chit chat at the track.
That's a nice
And
shot. Yeah.
like, but you do have this incredible racing history. I would love to hear a little bit about that, because as I was looking up your racing stats and everything, I mean, you have been quite the trailblazer for the female race car driver.
Yeah.
And so tell me, how did you start? Like, how little were you when, and what was the first thing you got into?
I feel like this was a whole lifetime ago, but I mean, my dad grew up racing dirt bikes and stuff, and I kind of grew up on four-wheelers and stuff like that, and that's what I wanted to do, but my dad was like, absolutely not. Like, you're not racing a dirt bike. And I was like, okay. So he was kind of a NASCAR fan, and he would go with his guy friends to Texas Motor Speedway when they would go to town or whatever, however that works, you know, and they would have their guys' weekends and stuff. Well, there was a legend car track out back, and I was living in Texas with my mom at the time, and my dad was like, hey, bring Kenzie over. I want her to test one of these Bandolero cars. So we went there, and kind of just the rest was history. We kind of started out as just like a family fun thing. Like, my parents were divorced, so we would meet in Texas and race Bandoleros on the weekends, and we got to have like a bunch of like close family time. And then I got the racing bug and moved to North Carolina when I was 17, and that's when I met Daniel, and it all just spiraled from there. I don't know. It just happened all so fast, and like I said, I feel like it's a lifetime ago, my racing career anyways. But yeah, now I just get to live through Daniel a little bit.
Yes, so you raced Bandoleros, you raced Legends, and something
Yeah,
that I thought was so interesting, and I mean, you raced super late models and
yeah,
the K&N East
stuff,
Series and ARCA. I mean, you've done so much stuff.
but everything.
And did you race trucks or Xfinity? Did you ever get into any of those?
Nope, nope. Canon East is the about as, or an Arca is the farthest I got. But no, no, no truck or Xfinity. That was always a goal. Just I always say it was a timing thing. You know, I feel like I was up and coming when Danica was still racing. So I feel like NASCAR kind of had their female, and it was just kind of a timing thing that it didn't really work out for me, and that's fine. So,
Yeah, timing is everything, and everything does happen for a reason, and so you just never know why maybe that didn't shake out the way that you had anticipated when you were younger. But here you are now with a husband
beautiful little
and beautiful
kids.
children, and getting to have this
Yeah.
amazing life, still traveling and doing the whole circuit. So
Yeah.
but when you raced, so you raced Legends, you raced ARCA, K&N East. You raced against a bunch of guys that are current
Yes.
NASCAR drivers.
I always joke to everybody. My one claim to fame is I won a race at Lucas Oil Speedway, and Daniel was in the race, Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney, and I beat everybody.
Yes.
So that's my only claim to fame when it comes to race.
No, that is so cool.
Yeah,
That is was something I was gonna say. I'm like,
yeah,
so you literally won a race that all of these NASCAR drivers were in,
yeah,
and what what is that like? Like you say, your claim to fame now, but did they make any impression on you all those years that you were racing against them? Like, do you watch Daniel or Blaney, or did you ever race against Bubba in like Legends or anything like that?
I think he was out of Legend Cars when well, we raced a little bit because we raced the Legends Million, and he came back to race that. But I didn't start racing until I was like 12 or 13, and I feel like Bubba got in a late model when he was like 10 or 12. Like, I feel like he was so young. So I feel like even being I'm a couple of years older than him, he was kind of moved out of legend cars when I was racing legend cars. But I mean, I always still give them a hard time. I give him and Blaney a hard time when we ever hang out. But I mean, it was, oh man, just such a long time ago. Like I said, it's just a lifetime ago. I feel like if racing would have worked out, I wouldn't have my two kids. I feel like it wouldn't have all worked out. So I mean,
Yeah.
I, gosh, I don't know. I have flashbacks of like racing stuff, but I miss the driving part. But a lot of the other stuff I don't miss too much.
It's interesting how with so many things like racing or any sport, any athlete, doing the actual sport that they do is maybe 40% of what actually entails, maybe even less. I mean, for the time and commitment that you put into
Yeah.
it. So like you say, Ty has that moments like that where he's like, man, it would be great to just get in the car and race, but there are so many more obligations. So I
Yes.
feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm told Daniel every day. I'm like, I wouldn't. I seriously, as much as I love racing and the competitive part of it, I wouldn't want to do his job. So
Right.
yeah.
So Daniel started racing full-time trucks in 2015, I believe.
Hmm.
And that same year you were doing the Drive for Diversity for Rev Racing. Is that right? Were you guys both racing at the same time?
Yes. Yes. I tell people I feel like Daniel got in trucks when I was starting to my career started down. If that makes any sense. Like it was so weird. But then like I would be at the racetrack and be like, "Hey, how's Daniel doing?" Or he would be at the racetrack watching the cannon races, and I would be at the cannon races watching the truck races. But uh
So you guys would often be in two completely different
different
places
places.
racing,
Yeah.
watching each other in your downtime.
Yes. Yes. Or checking our phones to see how we're running. And yeah, I mean, I feel like our whole relationship has revolved around racing. I mean, we met racing legend cars back in 2009, and I think we just have a lot of mutual respect for each other. And I always tell people that coming from a racing background, I always feel like it's like a blessing and a curse when it comes to Daniel's racing career because I'm like, man, what happened there? Like, why did you do that? And then sometimes it's like the biggest blessing because when he was truck racing, he had this one crew chief that could never understand a word that he was saying on the radio. And I would sit on the pit box and his crew chief would look back at me and be like, and I'd be like, oh, he said this, 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 and this. And he was like, okay, okay, okay. So I always feel like it's like a blessing and a curse.
That is so funny
Yeah.
that you would be there like relaying the
Oh,
message.
yeah. And even still to this day, I don't go to a lot of the races. We stay home a lot. I feel like I had Ren during COVID, so I feel like we turned into such homebodies and everything was just easier. Like I had all my stuff at home. So we kind of turned into homebodies, not going to the racetrack as much as we would like, but just listening on the phone sometimes is he'll say, "Oh, my car's doing this, this, and this," and his spotter's like, "Yeah, copy," and then he'll relay it back to the crew chief, and I'm like, "Oh no, that's not what he said. That's not what he said. He said something different." And I'm like, I'm not there to tell him what he said. It's
Yes,
so
you're
fun.
like, no, 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 no. He wasn't saying that at all, and now you're gonna
Yeah.
do that, and now it's gonna make his car worse or not what he needs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is so funny. It's one thing I have kind of a racing background, not
Yes.
like my brothers race. We raced as for a hobby.
Yeah.
They saw it as kids they wanted to be NASCAR drivers,
Mhm.
but you actually racing for as long as you did, like
Mhm.
you know what you're seeing, what you're talking about. Like you even probably have moments where you're like watching Daniel race and you're like, if you could just do your car and run your line like so and so's running his line, like you'll be better. I mean, I can only imagine your bird's eye view of it is
Yeah.
probably, are you a little bit of a backseat driver for him, or are you just like his biggest cheerleader? I'm sure
A little
both, maybe.
both, both, especially like we went Vegas earlier this year. We did just a parents trip out to Vegas and sitting up in the suite watching. I'm like, Daniel, why did you do that on that restart? You know what I mean? But yeah, we're both each other's biggest cheerleaders, but definitely I'm tough critic too.
I love that. That's awesome. So you guys, oh, and also too, Daniel raced Legends that year, '07, that my brothers were there racing. He was there. I don't know if he was racing per se, but my parents always talked to Daniel. They knew. I'm sure he had to have been racing there at that
Yeah, and I
summer.
feel like did they race for Clay Hair? Your
They
brother?
didn't race for Clay Hair, no.
Oh, they didn't. Okay.
Um,
For some reason, or did he race for Dan and stuff? Or
they
they
just were
just came
doing
out
their own thing.
their
They
own
just
thing?
showed up
Okay, I
and
can't remember.
didn't
Maybe
race for
they,
anybody.
yeah,
They
I feel
raced
like
for
I
my
was at
dad.
the summer shootout that year too, and I don't know. I remember your brothers. I remember Nick. Did both of them race or just Nick?
They both raced. They both did the summer shootout in '07. And then
Okay.
Nick came back and he raced the Legends Million in like
Okay.
2010, maybe. Did you
Yes.
race that Legends Million?
I raced that race. Yes. Yeah.
Stop.
So I was about to say, I remember your brother. Like I remember, yeah, like such a lifetime ago. But I do remember he had a red car. It was red.
Yep,
Red.
think so.
Yeah. But I remember your brother. I remember Nick Carey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's funny. So I need to go back and watch that. It literally just popped up on my dad's like Facebook memories. It wasn't from the time, but it was probably a video from maybe 10 years ago, but it was from the Legends Million
Yeah.
that Nick raced because he had to do the last chance qualifier and first and second made it through and he got second. And so he made it into the race.
Yeah.
I don't know how he finished in the race, but that's a huge deal.
Well, it was a big deal. It was huge. We gosh, I remember that. I don't know how I remember it raining that week and I had to run like a rain race to get in and I remember my race being like all jacked up. People running off the racetrack and whatever and I thought I finished second and I didn't finish second. I finished third and then I got a provisional to be in the race because our my race was like so I don't think anybody knew what was happening. Because we, at the
Yeah.
summer shootout, the race in the rain, and yeah, so I remember getting in the race, but I got a provisional, and then I think my motor blew up like halfway through. So,
Oh my gosh.
but
So
yes,
that was like the first time that Ty and I kind of met was in '07 at the summer shootout. That was when we first met. But one
yeah,
of the things that was like a huge thing that happened that then kind of like bonded the families in a way, I guess. I don't even know. Was Ty, which legends rarely flip. And I mean, they're just the way they're built, that's
yeah,
so not common. And Ty had flipped his car and he was in like the Young Lions or whatever the lower, the
yeah,
semi-pro. He was in
yeah,
semi-pro class and my brothers were running the pro class and
yeah,
because Ty was so much younger. And anyway, he flipped and like my dad was there with Tina and was like he's going to be okay. It's all good. And Tina, like Tina,
yeah,
she freaks out over the racing. Like I've become a lot like her in the sense that I'm like
I just want to be alone to watch this race. Like I don't
Oh, that's
I
funny.
I just want to be able to like make a scene or whatever it is that I want to do watching this race.
Yeah,
And anyway,
that
so
is
she
so
was like that back then and was
funny.
freaking out. And my dad, I don't know, my parents were there and they were like, he's fine. And then after that, we
Yeah,
kind of
it's
like,
so weird because I remember this. Like, I probably were in bandos back then, racing the summer shootout. But I remember like tie flipping and the Bass Pro Shop car. Like, I remember all of this. It's just like little tiny little bits. Like when you're saying it, I'm like, oh, I remember this.
well, I mean, we were literally like 15,
Yeah. So yeah,
So it was a lifetime ago, like you
yeah,
say,
it
like
was.
so hard to remember, but
Yeah.
just little bits and pieces of it,
Yeah. So it's just so
Um,
crazy. Past like cross back then, and we didn't know it.
I know. I mean, we had to have both been there and
Yeah,
not,
absolutely.
even made. I was like in and out. I flew back and forth from Washington a little bit that summer and with my dad and my mom pretty much stayed out the whole time. But we had rented a house in Kernersville, which is so far away. We didn't know what we were doing.
Oh, gosh.
And we
Kernersville.
rented
Yeah.
a house in
Not that
Kernersville
way.
to
Oh,
race the
yeah.
summer shootout.
Yeah. Huh.
It's a long ways
That's
away. Anyway, like I'm like, we could have probably got a place right in Concord, Mom. This
oh,
was probably before like VRBO was a thing.
yeah.
So, when did you and Daniel first meet?
Oh, we met in, gosh, I think it was 2009 in it was a legend car race at Monroe, Louisiana. It was called the Battle in the Bayou. And he was racing pro stuff and I was racing semi-pro and we were both winning. Like I was winning semi-pro every night and he was winning pro every night. One of the nights you could like rent the track after and test. Well, finally I was like, man, I'm tired. Like I told my dad and stuff, I was like, okay, like I don't want to run anymore. Like I'm tired, like my arms are whatever. Well, they're like, one more thing. We got one more change. Go out here and do one little more thing. And I backed it in the fence.
Oh
Well,
no.
it was just me, my dad, and he's like my big brother. His name's CJ. Now he has his own legend car business, still running legend cars to this day, 860 Motorsports, but he's like my big brother. He traveled the country with me. It was just me and him back then. And so I wrecked the car, whatever. Dan Snyder and Daniel come over and they're trying to help fix the car. And my dad drove all night, all the way back to North Carolina, picked up a new chassis, came back, but that's kind of where it all started. And then we came to the summer shootout, and we worked out of Dan's shop that summer, and we dated kind of secretively the first whole year we dated. We didn't really tell anybody, and
Just
I
because you
would
felt
text off of
like you were
CJ's
gonna.
phone because I didn't want to ask for his number. It was just very young and kids, and it was fun. But then he won the million, and then I think I moved up to late models, and Daniel was still running legends, and then Daniel ran modifieds, and I don't know. I feel like we just raced everywhere and anywhere, and we would catch up with each other. I mean, we lived with each other during the week, but on the weekends we were always separate, racing different places. But yeah, we met in 2009, and then kind of it's history. We've been together ever
You guys have
since.
been together for, yeah,
Yeah.
so you've been together ever since. So that's, I mean, how many years have you been together now?
What's that? 2009, 19 would be 10 years. 16? It says 15? 16. This year will be 16 years, right? It's
Gosh.
2025.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Don't ask
Yeah.
us to do math.
I know, right?
I'm like sitting
Oh,
here
yeah,
really
look at it.
trying
16 years.
to
Yeah,
figure it out in my mind.
I know. Yeah.
That's that's amazing. So you guys have really, Ty and I started dating when we were 19.
Mhm.
And we feel like we really grew up together. You guys
Yeah,
probably feel the same way.
same. Yeah, absolutely. I
And
feel like we raised each other. Kind of.
yeah, isn't that
Yeah.
funny? So much of, the things that we've done together, we just feel like we feel very much like different people for sure. And I'm sure you do too. I mean,
Mhm.
do you feel like completely different people from the people you were when you met?
Oh man, I feel like sometimes, but then I just feel like we're the same kids. Like I tell Daniel all the time, I'm like, man, I'm 30 whatever, and I sometimes I just feel like I'm 16. Like, who let me leave the hospital with these kids and like,
Oh
oh,
my
here,
gosh.
you're on your own. Like, figure it out. You know what I mean? I'm
Say
like,
that.
who letting me raise these kids? I'm still a kid myself. That's how I feel sometimes. But then other times I'm like, man, we've grown. You know what I mean? Like, we have really grown, and I feel like we've built this beautiful life together, and we're just so blessed and thankful for each other every day. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like it's both. We've
Yeah.
grown, but we're still the same. Yeah.
That's I
Yeah.
feel that. That's so
Yeah.
true. We're
Yeah.
we and it's so funny you say that about them letting you go home from the hospital. Like I say all the time, I'm like, I'm 17. How do I have three kids? Like, who told me I could do this? You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just wild. And then you look up and I'm 32. I'm like, okay, I just can't believe I'm responsible for all of this now.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Well, so like you say, this big, beautiful life that you guys have created together. You got married in 2017. You've had two babies.
Mhm.
What was it like having those babies? And tell me a little bit about your journey of deciding you wanted to start a family and just what that looked like for you.
Yeah. So growing up racing, I was like, I don't want kids. Like,
Really? You really felt like
yeah,
you were
what,
not sure if you
what?
wanted to have kids?
Huh? I didn't think I wanted kids. I don't know why. I think I just was so set on like making the whole racing thing work. And then when it didn't work, I was like, okay, oh, okay. Like, I can see having kids. And then I just, like, one day I was like, I want kids now. Like, I want a baby now. And so we started trying for kids. Oh gosh, what year was that? I guess 2019. And then we got pregnant and I had a miscarriage very early. And then I feel like we got pregnant with Ren right like really soon after that. Like it was really soon. And then we had Ren, COVID. So I had Ren May of 2020, and that was during COVID. So like the world
Oh,
shut down in March
I was
and
gonna say, you were
Daniel's
in
home.
the
And
throes of it.
we're just doing house projects, and we had our closet torn apart, and we were building a closet, and I went into labor. Our whole closet was torn apart. Our house was a disaster because she was early. Not too early, but a little early. Yeah.
How early?
Oh gosh, I think my due date was May 21st, and she was born May 9th.
Oh, yeah,
So,
so,
I
like,
mean,
a
a
couple
couple
weeks.
weeks early. I mean, we thought we had plenty of time to like finish our nesting projects.
So how did you go into labor with her? Like, did your water break or what
Yep.
was yeah?
Yes. Yes. My water just broke. We were hauling closet pieces. Like I said, we were redoing our master closet. Like our closet was just like the wire shelves, and we were like putting in like a closet made closet. And we were hauling pieces, and I was like, oh, I think I just peed myself. And my friend looked at me. She was over here helping. She was like, you don't need to be carrying that stuff in. You're pregnant. And she looked at me and she was like, Kenzie, your water. And I was like, oh, yeah, yeah, I guess so. Like, I guess my water just broke. And then we hung out at home for a while. I think that was like at noon. I don't think we went to the hospital till like 5. And I had her
That's
at like
good. That's what you're supposed to
11:56 that
do.
night.
I went to the hospital, like, the second my water broke, and I wish I had waited when I had Oakley.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I feel like my contractions started pretty soon after that. But I was like so scared to go sit at the hospital for like ever. And I called the doctor, obviously, and they're like, well, you just time your contractions, come in whenever they're so many minutes apart or whatever. And I feel like it happened pretty fast. Like, I didn't expect it to happen as fast as it did, like 12 hours. I mean, I guess that's not
But for a
short.
first time
Yeah.
labor, I mean,
Yeah.
that is very fast.
Yes. I thought it was pretty fast because I was like, oh, like, I'm fine. Like, it's fine. Then finally I was like, okay, yeah, we need to go. Like, I'm dying. Like, like, we probably need to go to the hospital. Like, I feel like I'm dying. I wasn't set up. I know you did natural with your last two, and girl, praise you because
I know.
I thought I was dying. And when I got to the hospital, I was only a 3 or something. I was like, oh my gosh. But
Oh,
I didn't
man.
prepare for it to be like natural either.
You could absolutely do it. I mean, if I can do it, anyone can do it. It's definitely something you have to like prepare for, like you
Yeah.
say, like when you don't
Yes.
think about that, like you have to make that decision to not get an epidural 6 months before you even think about having that baby.
Yes. So
Because
I
in the
was
moment, it's like, give me the juice.
yeah. I went into it just like on the fence. Like I was just like, whatever happens, I'll go with the flow. Like I don't like expectations. Like I didn't have any, like I feel like I didn't have any expectations. I just wanted to go into it like with no expectations and just went with the flow. And then when I got there, I was like, give me that epidural, please. Please.
And then you had Ren, and then how long did I feel like your babies are close together. How far
So
apart are they in age?
Ren will be 5 in May and Rustin turned 2 in December. So I think Ren was 2.5. So
Okay.
yeah. So
That's
not, I mean,
that's
not
actually, I
terribly
don't know why I
close,
was
but
thinking that they were closer in age, but
no,
they just
two and a
look
half
like
years.
little twins or something. I don't know what it is.
They
Like they're
do.
just so
Other than
stinking
their
cute.
eyes. Yeah. One has brown eyes and one has blue eyes. But other than that, I feel like they have such similarities. Yeah.
That's
And
so
I feel like
funny.
there's such a good mix of me and Daniel. I have so many people tell me, "Oh, Rustin looks just like you." And then I'll have people say, "Oh, he looks just like Daniel. He's a little Daniel." And it's just so funny because I feel like different days, I feel like they look like different either other. Yeah.
Yeah. You put a certain outfit on them or something, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's so Daniel," or "Looks so
Yeah.
like you." Yeah, they
Yeah.
are though a really good blend of you guys. They're so cute and
Oh, thank
sweet.
you.
Do you think you guys will have another?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Daniel was fine with one, and I was like, "Oh no, like she needs a sibling. Like she has to have somebody to grow up with, and when we're gone, she'll have a forever friend." And it's just so funny because I always thought I was gonna have 2 girls. I don't know why. I think like my mama heart just said I was gonna have 2 girls. So when I found out I was having a boy, I cried.
Oh,
Not
me
because
too, girl.
yeah, not because I didn't want a boy. I think I was just like in complete shock. Like I just told myself I was gonna have 2 girls. And when they told me at the ultrasound it was a boy, I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, "What?" I thought, "No, I knew it was a girl. I knew like in my heart I thought it was a girl." No, I got little Rustin, man. So
Yeah, it's so funny. I did the same thing. I thought I was gonna have another girl.
yeah,
And I don't think I've ever told this story on the podcast yet, but when I got pregnant with Captain, I thought for sure we were going to be the opposite. So all my brothers have all boys, Rowan has four
yeah,
sons, Nick has three sons. And so
wow,
I thought we were going to be the ones that like made up the difference after we had one girl. For some reason in my mind, I'm like, oh, we're going to be the people that have three girls.
yeah,
And so I just thought for sure that was what was going to happen. And I really wanted that. Like, it's so
mhm,
funny because we're obsessed with our sons,
yeah,
but, I really thought I wanted to have a girl so bad,
yeah,
a second girl. And it's just so funny because that
yeah,
that's like a real thing I think people don't really talk about
yeah,
often is like sort of that disappointment at first.
yes,
Like I was disappointed and it sounds terrible and it's like
yeah,
maybe hard for people to admit that I was so
yeah,
disappointed for like a week. I just couldn't believe it. And then obviously started to come around to it. And then like the second he was born, I never thought that like connection would be, you almost feel like your heart can't grow to have love for another child, and it just does. It's just insane how
yes,
it just
yeah,
grows.
I know. I wouldn't have it any other way now, but I don't know. I have a sister, so it's me and my sister, and I just love the bond that we have. So I just always thought I would have another girl, I guess. I don't, yeah. So,
I know. I
hmm,
know, but it's just fun. Those boys
yeah.
are so fun. Hey parents, are you looking for high quality, faith inspired pajamas for your little ones? Let me introduce you to Holy Pals, the brand that brings comfort, quality, and faith together in the sweetest way.
Holy Pals creates soft, cozy pajamas featuring beautifully designed Bible stories and characters, making bedtime not just about rest, but also about faith and family. Whether it's Noah's Ark, David and Goliath, or the Nativity, these pajamas are a perfect way to spark meaningful conversation with your kids. And not only are they adorable, but Holy Pals is committed to quality. Each pair is made with 100% premium cotton, ensuring a safe and snug fit for your little ones. So why not make bedtime a little more special? Visit holypals.com/Haley Dillon for 20% off at checkout. Holy Pals, where faith and comfort come together, one bedtime story at a time.
What was the biggest transition for you guys? Was it 0 to 1 or 1 to 2? Which do you think was harder?
For us, it was 1 to 2. Absolutely. Like, I felt like, and I it might have been different because we were in COVID and couldn't, like, leave the house and stuff with
Yeah.
Ren, but, the 0 to 1 was so easy. Like, we just took her everywhere. It was easy. She just went everywhere with us. It was just like a little tag along. Like, she just went everywhere. Racetrack, I felt like was easier. Then with 2, I was like, "Oh my gosh, we have more stuff." Like,
Yeah.
and then just trying to get, like, the schedules to line up. Like, I was such a schedule person. Like, I had to be, like, to the T, like, Ren did this, this, and this, and I had my schedules, and then the second one came along, and it was just like, "Oh, I'm back to the newborn phase, and my
Yeah.
schedule doesn't line up and all this." So for me, it was definitely 1 to 2 was harder.
Yeah. Did
Yeah,
you, what do you think is the
and I know.
biggest thing you've learned from motherhood? Like, what do you think is the biggest thing that has been the biggest eye opener for you?
Oh gosh, going with the flow, because I feel like kids always throw you for loops, and I've learned that when they've gotten older. Obviously, our schedules aren't always to a T, and, like, I feel like at the beginning, I was, like, such a scheduler, and now I'm like, "Oh, well, it is what it is. We'll just go with the flow," and I feel like Rustin made me that way because he's not a scheduled baby, and Ren was a very scheduled baby. So I feel like here recently, just trying to just let go, and not everything's such a big deal as I make it. Like, we just have to go with the flow, and it will all work out the way it's supposed to. And yeah, just never
Just going
being
with the flow.
that's how, yes, because at, I feel like Ren was such a good baby. Like, she slept so good and all this. And she spoiled me with the second one because the second one does not do any of the stuff she did. So now I've learned to we just got to take it day by day.
Yeah. So would that be like your biggest advice to give to a new mom? Like just day
Absolutely.
by day.
Just take it day by day and don't stress out. I feel like the stuff that we stress out about, it is, it doesn't matter. Like, don't let the little stuff get under your skin. Like, just let it
Yeah.
go and have fun because they're only little for so long. Ren turns 5 this year and goes to kindergarten next year. And I am just, I don't know. It's just going by too fast.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
unwell thinking about it. I mean, it's just crazy. We both had, our COVID babies, Captain
Yes.
and Ren, and the fact that they're going to be 5 is just crazy.
It's crazy to me. Like, I'm like, where did the last 5 years go, and can I have them back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you guys, speaking of go with the flow, you guys have had to certainly go with the flow a lot in
Yeah.
your adapting racing career for
Yeah.
Daniel. And he has had an amazing career that I always have kind of felt like him and Ty have a similar.
I was just about to say the same thing. I listened to one of your podcasts, and you're like, "Ty's like the 9 lives of NASCAR," and I'm like, I feel like him and Daniel are kind of the same when it comes to that.
Absolutely. Like, that's exactly what I was going to say. And I didn't want to seem like repetitive, but
No.
Daniel is like, has as well had that experience of the
Yes.
9 lives of NASCAR, and he's just always been like Ty in the way that he's been very tenacious about fighting for his dream and
Yeah.
chasing the NASCAR dream and wanting and always just like leaving no stone unturned. And something that I think is similar to Daniel and Ty is they are just genuine dudes And no one would have a bad thing to say about Daniel. Like, Daniel is he's the same guy in every room that he's in, and he is just a really good human. And I think that anyone that has ever previously worked with Daniel, like, he's not the kind of guy that burns a bridge, or like, he has a such a maturity about him that I think is evident when you get to know him. He has such a maturity about him, but he has had quite the journey in racing. So he started out in trucks. He climbed his way through the NASCAR ranks. He raced for Richard Childress Racing for a couple years. He
Yeah.
now has gone from racing full-time cup to racing trucks again in an amazing truck.
Yeah.
And we know that journey. I mean, we know what that's like to go from cup racing to truck racing. For us, that was sort of hard to adapt, Daniel's in a really good truck. That
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yes.
That was kind of a unique thing for Ty, like going from cup to trucks again. But we really enjoyed, like, once we were able to sort of adapt into it,
Yeah.
really enjoyed that schedule. And what are your thoughts? I mean, obviously, what are your thoughts about just that? What it's like going from cup to the truck schedule and sort of having some more free time to be home, like you say, homebodies and everything. But what has the journey been like for you as his wife, as his support system, to be there for him through all of these highs and lows? And how does he handle it? Like, how do you guys handle that as a couple? And what can you speak to that at all? What has it been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely highs and lows, just being his biggest cheerleader, be like, it's gonna work out. Like, even if it's not exactly the way that we want it, it's not our plan, you know what I mean? But just being his cheerleader, we love the truck schedule so far. We have our weekends back. Like, Ren just started T-ball, so we have T-ball games on the weekends. We all get to go to church together on Sundays. We are liking the truck schedule, and it's good that Daniel gets to run something competitive every week. Like, that's really what he wanted to do. And he said, I just want to get my kids to victory lane. Like, they haven't experienced dad like winning. So he was like, oh, he said, I just want my kids to experience that part of dad, because I won so many races before kids. He was like, I just want to get back to being competitive and show my kids that get the kids to victory lane. That's what he wanted. So it's crazy that it all worked out so fast. The win at Martinsville and stuff was super cool. I thought about not going to Martinsville.
Oh, man.
So yeah, right? I was like, man, it's so late. Like, I'll have to drive up and drive back. Like, and McAnally Bill was like, oh, is Kenzie and the kids coming? Like, Daniel was like, man, Bill keeps asking if you're coming. And I was like, okay, we'll come. Like, we'll come. It's fine. And we decided to drive up after Rustin's nap. So Rustin woke up at like 3, and we drove up and got there like right before the race. And then we went to MRO, and Ren played at MRO for a while. And I was like, hey, Ren, do you want to go like watch the trucks go around the racetrack? And she was like, no, no. And then finally, with like 30 to go, she was like, okay, let's go up. And I was like, what? Like, now? Like, girl, we're not even going to make it up there before the end of the race. Like, we're not going to get to watch any of the trucks go around the race.
Yeah, yeah. By the time we golf cart over there, get up there.
So Billy, thank goodness, he was like, I'll drive you up. And I was like, oh, thank you, Billy. And so we drove up there, and I'm telling you, we got to the stands right when the first, like, whoever spun, the 1 and 2 spun and wrecked. And I was like, oh, he's second. Like, oh, good, top 10 day type of deal. And yeah, it is so crazy how like stuff works out. Like Ren's little mind being like, let's go to the stands. Like,
It's like a little
yeah,
God
and,
wink,
you're saying that you like to watch the races by yourself and in a call, or so you can react the way you want. Yeah, I was the full jumping up and down in the stands. Like, people around me were like, what is wrong with this lady? Like, why is she jumping around like that? But it was just really cool. So that's why Daniel wanted to go back to the truck stuff, is to compete for wins and get the kids to victory lane so they could experience that. And it was so fun. Rustin's core memory was Daddy soaking wet. They sprayed him with water. Daddy soaking wet is what he would say after. And then we'd say, Rustin, what do you say when you take pictures? And he'd go, woo! So that was fun.
Oh my,
It was all so worth it. Like, I feel like our whole NASCAR ups and downs, going from series to series and teams to teams, that was so worth all of what we've been through, I guess. Yeah.
oh my gosh. That
Yeah.
literally, as you're talking, that just, I completely understand
Yeah.
and want that so
Yeah.
bad. I
Yes.
want that so bad for us. I mean, if I can just be so vulnerable to share that is like, man, that would be really cool. And when I
So,
saw your kids,
yeah.
like when I saw you guys, I started crying. I was
Aw.
like, that is so cool. I was so happy for him. I mean, like, no bullshit. I was just like, damn, that's so freaking cool. I was just so excited for him, knowing everything that he's done, and then getting to see you guys and
Yeah.
texting you right then, like, hell yeah. That was
You
so
were my first
cool.
text
I was. Oh, that's cool.
I was like, Haley was my first text message. But I mean,
I
we're so emotional, right? Because
I know.
we lived this whole, I mean, ups and downs. And I think our emotion is from how hard it is for us to support Daniel and Ty, and to know like the ups and downs and the ins and outs, and the so much, how much they work and give up, right? Like, to do what they do, right? Like, we all give up, right? We all give up so much to chase this crazy racing thing. And I think our emotions just show how much hard work goes into it, especially for the guys. And I mean, they all, from when they were little boys, just dreamed about winning, right? And that's the
Yeah.
ultimate goal every week. But I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work out. And I think just when they do, they're very far and few and far in between. So yeah, it's just,
I
yeah,
just I think that the reason talking to you feels so different to talk to you because you and I are so alike in the way that we have had these our husbands have had such different hard careers and
yeah,
different and like I'm doing this and I'm interviewing these girls and I'm so like championing them, like wanting them to feel loved and heard and like I
yeah,
want them to feel valued and everything because it is so hard to do. It is hard to be the support system all the time. It's not, I mean, it is, it's hard, but it's like it feels thankless, you know, sometimes your world of it and like some of these girls that I've talked to, I mean, their husbands have won and won and won and won championships, and it's
yeah,
awesome. And we could only dream of being there. That hopefully that's, you know, and I think that you and I are the same, and like
yeah,
Daniel and Tyra are the same in the sense that they're just like, well, why not me? Maybe it could still be me. And like, I'm going to
yeah,
keep on busting my butt to get there and do it. And so, I know the times that like we haven't even talked about because we've experienced them, but I know that there are moments where, you know, you're driving home and it's the pits and you're just upset or you guys are having to fly with rowdy kids when you've just wrecked out of a race and having to get up on Monday morning and try to go through the week with like hope for the next week. And sometimes it builds and builds as that wife that for you and I, like, we can't physically do anything about it. And like, they get to physically get in the car and
yeah,
they get to get that adrenaline out and that anxiety about it sort of
mhm,
out. And
yeah,
also, they're not watching the race. We get to see the whole race of all the dynamics that happened during the race.
yeah,
And so it's just so much pressure on the wives to keep the peace through the household and life for them and make them feel loved and supported. And so like I so see you, and I'm so just happy for you guys that he got to have that, because like man, we want that so
Yeah.
bad to be able to be in victory lane with our kids.
It will come. I feel like y'all have been running so good this year. I feel like Ty's been running. He has really good weeks, and
It's
I I cheer for him. I'm like, come on, Ty, come on, we got to get them top tens because we didn't have that experience last year. So,
oh my gosh,
you know,
what a
um,
weird dynamic too
I
that
know
he's
it's so
racing.
weird. The whole NASCAR stuff is just so weird. I mean, obviously you have your people that are like so locked in, and then you have the other people, get like us that switch teams all a lot. Hopefully we found our home at with McAnally Hilgeman, but I just love the truck stuff. And
Yeah.
but like you said, being their support system, like week in and week out, like it was the 2 cup years have been the hardest on Daniel this far in his racing career. I feel like they were just such ups and downs. Like you're so excited because you're at the cup level, but then we don't have like the performances that he wants, right? So like for us, our hardest years were cup racing. Like our other years that we ran Xfinity, and gosh, we haven't been in trucks so long until this year. But I just feel like it's more I don't know. I don't even know how to say that. Like I don't know how to say more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's just
like
fun. The people, I get that. Like
like
when
our
Ty was racing trucks,
yeah,
they were just good old boys racing. You know, like it felt like when we would race quarter midgets or something, like
yeah,
fun. It just felt
yeah,
like fun. And, you know, you get to the cup level and it's just the pressure is on and people are
yeah,
cooked. Yeah.
yes.
So it's
And it was
different.
just
It's
I
like
feel
it's
like
such a
Daniel puts
blessing.
pressure on him too, like cup racing. Like I feel like and maybe not from other people, but he puts so much pressure on himself, right? So I feel like happier home on our truck and Xfinity racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
That's
I get
stressful.
that. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. They go, I mean, once they get there, it's this like double-edged sword or whatever, you know, it's this, yes, it's what they want, but man, it's really grueling. So,
Yes. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Until you live it, it's hard to explain, I guess. Like
exactly.
I still have a hard time explaining it or have words to tell about it because it's just until you're living it, yeah, the stress of it.
Yeah, especially at the unique level that you and I have like been
Yes.
witness to, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a different story. Like your story is different than
Like the uniqueness of going up,
yeah,
down to like the different series, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Like living
Like
in all of them. Like the stress level, I would way rather live in what we're living now than the cup stuff. And I mean, it's just, and maybe we're older too. Like I know Daniel, I mean, we're 35, right? Like, what's the odds of getting back to cup? So as long as he can race and make a career out of it and he's happy and he gets his competitive fix, you know what I mean? And we get to have fun and drive to the races because most of the truck stuff we get to drive to as a family. And yeah, it's just, yeah, we have like no stress. It's just is what it is. And if he wins races, he wins races. And yeah,
that's
we're
so
just
nice.
taking it day by day.
And to be able to do, I mean, you're having like the best of both worlds where you can
Yeah.
do T-ball and go
Yeah.
to church and
Yes.
race. I mean, that
Yes.
and win races. Like that, you're literally getting to do it all and are in such a cool season of life. Like,
Yeah.
good for you guys.
Yeah.
And because
I am. loving this year. Like you said, we get to do all the family fun things on the weekends, and then Daniel still gets to race. We haven't been to all of them, but we've been to the ones that we can drive to so far. But yeah, I mean, and it's just so fun.
Yeah.
They're fun one day shows, so we just drive in that day, drive home that night, and we don't have to worry about staying in hotels. And yeah, it's just stress free. And I'm loving the season that we're in, and this whole racing thing is so a minute. It's so temporary, like I
Yeah.
feel like it's so temporary. Like we're in it for such a short amount of time, and we're just loving
Embracing it while you're doing it.
embracing it and loving every minute of it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how do you feel like, I this podcast is called Believe in the Good. How do you guys choose to look at the bright side or come out of the funk when you're in one? Or, how do you believe in the good? And I know you're obviously a believer and love Jesus and have a strong faith. And, what do you guys do you guys ever, have you ever done therapy? And do you guys ever like have a debrief where you have to like reconnect, like have a date night? I mean, what are the things that you do to sort of keep the faith and believe in the good when
Yeah.
times are hard and sort of
Yes.
forge on? Like, how do you do it? And how does Daniel do it? Like, how does he keep putting one foot in front of the other after all
I
this time?
like Daniel is always been the more see the good in every situation. I've always had a hard time sometimes with that. I mean, I've gotten better. I feel like, especially after kids, I feel like kids give you a whole new perspective on life and stuff like that. And, but Daniel's always definitely been the more positive person. Uh, and he has taught me to just go with the flow, and everything happens for a reason. And we just God has a plan, and we just have to go with his plan. Sometimes it's not what we want, but that's not our choice, right? So yeah, I mean, we do date nights. We try to. My We're lucky. My sister's a flight attendant, and she actually lives with us because she is only here probably 3 days a week at the max because she flies for American. So she'll watch the kids, and we'll do date nights. Mostly just dinner. We love movies. So we love going to the movies and getting popcorn and watching a movie, but we've never done therapy. I feel like we have definitely went through some winter seasons and stuff, especially after kids. I feel like as a mom, you're like, oh, I'm doing all this and this and this, and you're not helping. But sometimes I just have to voice, I'm like, hey, I need help. Like, I need you to help. I know that you're working this whole other job and the racing and whatever, and I'm here all day, but I need help. Like the other day we were getting ready for church, and he's watching the race back, and I'm like, hey, I got everybody dressed, and we are ready, and you need to get in the shower. I got everybody ready, and we're ready to go out the door, and you need to get in the shower. So come on. Like,
Yeah.
so like if we ever get frustrated with each other, we just talk it out. Like we just try to talk it out that night and be like, hey, I'm sorry I got frustrated with you today, but I just needed help and you didn't help me. So we just talk it out like anytime, and it's just little things that I feel like we get frustrated about. But gosh, I feel like we just grew up to each other or grew up together since we were so young, and we know every nook and cranny and everything about each other. So if we get nitpicky and stuff, we just talk it out. Date nights help,
You
getting
guys
away
are
from the
such,
kids, and getting back in the groove of stuff helps. So probably do like one a month. We don't do like weekly dates or anything, but probably once a month is probably fair.
yeah, that's probably a more accurate depiction for us too.
Yeah,
Like, we are able to do enough together, but an actual like babysitter's coming, we're going on a date night.
date.
It's
Yeah,
probably every, once a month at least.
yeah,
But yeah, it's hard though with our lives
it's
and
hard.
racing and kids'
Yeah,
schedules, T-ball,
yes,
all the things.
yes,
So I
yeah,
commend you guys for
yeah.
putting, and being married is work. It's hard work. We gotta,
It's hard. Yes,
yeah.
it's hard work.
And the more you put into it, the more you get out of it, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
What is something about you guys that people wouldn't know? Like, is there anything funny that you guys do that people would be surprised to know about? Or like a show that's weird that you're really into?
We like TV shows. We watch a lot of TV shows at night. We try to watch like one show a night to kind of wind down after the kids go to bed, but nothing out
What
of
do
the
you,
ordinary. I'm a big Grey's Anatomy fan.
does he watch Grays?
He'll watch it with me, but he's probably not his favorite. We just started watching Paradise.
Oh,
It's
I
like
haven't watched that.
it's from Hulu. It has the guy from This Is Us. Have you watched This Is Us?
Yeah,
Has one of the
kind
actors
of.
from that. It's really good. It's on Hulu. And
Okay.
it's really good. But we are show watchers. We just watch, I mean, we just like to watch a show a night to wind down. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be The Amazing Race. It could be Grey's Anatomy. We're all over the board when it comes to
Yeah.
shows.
Do you guys cook? Do either one of you cook?
We are sometimes. I feel like we're not the best. We order factory meals every week and we eat those. Daniel's like a griller and I will cook I mean, we probably cook 3 times a week at home. So, but nothing fancy. I do make your spicy rigatoni every now and then. I have to go back to your Instagram every time and like find it again because I can't remember what's in it. But
I love it. You know what? I think for easier access, I think I
yeah,
have a video of me making it on my
uh,
YouTube channel. So
well, I'll just go to the YouTube channel.
there you go. You won't have to
All I
sift
need
through
is
all
my
my
first
stories.
little ingredient shot. That's all I ever need of it.
Yeah.
Because I don't
Yeah,
have to do
that's
everything
true.
else. I'm like, oh man, what was in it again? You know?
Yeah. Oh man, I haven't made that in a long time and it is good. Rigatoni
Yeah,
bolognese, love it.
yes, yeah.
Do you guys do anything? Do you have any like nighttime routine or like a skincare regimen, or do you sleep with a mouth guard? I don't know why I'm fascinated and always ask people this.
No, I have a bottom retainer on the bottom, and I lost my retainer when I was in high school, so I do not have a night guard. I should. I talked to Daniel the other week. I was like, I really need to get like Invisalign. Like, I don't know, I need some help, you know? Just because I lost my retainer when I was young, stuff shifted and stuff. But no, I mean, I mean, I have contacts, so I take my contacts out. Really long day. I will just sleep in my makeup. It's bad. But then there's other times that I'll get in such a routine and do like my whole nighttime routine. You know, like I'll have a whole skin regimen that I have a skin regimen, but sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. But yeah, we still sleep with the sound machine. I think the kids were in a bassinet in our room for so long. I think Ren was in our room till she was like 9 months old, and Rustin was in our room till I think he was like 3 months old. So we got so used to like a sound machine that we have our own like white noise sound machine. I think that's about it. I think Daniel even like
Yeah,
travels with a sound machine. Like he has to sleep with a sound machine on the road. He's gotten so used to it. So I think that's kind of funny.
that
But
is.
that's it. No, no night guards. No. Daniel sleeps with a nose strip every now and then.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
Ty.
Yeah.
Always has
Yeah.
a nose strip.
Yeah. Yeah. But we don't even watch TV in our room. Like if we watch TV, we watch TV on the couch and then go to our room. That's one of our things. We don't watch TV in our room, which is like a little some I guess it's different. I feel like everybody's a little different, but we always watch TV on the couch and then when we're in our room, we go to bed. So,
You know, I think it was Morgan Bell. She said they do the same thing. Like they don't
yeah.
watch TV in bed. They watch
Yeah.
it on the couch, then they go to bed, which is like
Yeah.
we watch TV in bed. But I
Yeah. I don't
always,
know why. I have no idea why that started. Maybe it started when we had kids, like, because they slept in our room for a little bit when they were little. So then we would like put them to bed in our room and then come back out and watch TV and then go to bed. And then it just kind of started a habit and we never turn the TV in our room. We
yeah.
have a TV in there, it just never turns on.
How many pillows do you sleep with at night?
Two, two. And Daniel is like one and like the flattest pillow you can have. And I'm like, what? Like,
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
him and John Hunter, they're both serial killers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have to sleep with two. And I'm a side sleeper. I think I sleep on my right side all the time. I try to sleep on my back, but I do toss and turn a lot too. I think, yeah. I feel like some people are such solid sleepers and they just don't move. No, that's not me. I feel like when I wake up in the morning, I'm like
That's
wrapped up
not
in the
me.
covers and the covers are all like slung to my side. And Daniel's like, you stole the covers last night. And I'm like, sorry. Sorry.
Yes. Oh man, that's funny. We're a mess of pillows, and you'd
Yeah.
think that we would like sleep good. We don't. We
No.
don't sleep great, but we both sleep with like four pillows. Maybe we need to cool it with the pillows and we'd actually
Well,
get some better sleep, but I'm like
good.
fully cocooned, and so is he.
Do you sleep on your back?
No,
No.
I kind of sleep on my stomach. I'm kind of like a stomach sleeper. Yeah.
Huh.
The other thing I notice is I will wake up with my arms above my head, totally asleep. My
Yeah.
arms will be totally asleep, and I'll wake up
Oh,
like in that position, and I'm like,
yeah.
how did I even get here? I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
What is your Starbucks order, your coffee order? Do you drink coffee?
I do. Just like a hazelnut latte. It's either that or they had a lavender matcha the other day, and it was delicious. I like
Yes.
matcha every now and then too. So if I do a coffee order, it's pretty plain. Like I just want a hazelnut latte or something like that.
I'm obsessed with matcha right now.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed
I
with like a flavored one, like a strawberry or lavender
do you make
matcha.
it at home?
No, no, the ones at Starbucks.
Start. Yeah,
I can't get into all that. I did
yeah,
work at Starbucks for a hot minute when I was in college. I worked there for like a year, but
yeah.
it's been a long time. So what's Daniel's next race?
Oh goodness. What they're off this weekend, which is Talladega, Texas.
Texas,
2
okay.
weeks. Yeah, yeah.
Are you
And
gonna go?
no, we're not going. We're gonna do Ren's birthday party that Saturday. And I don't want to get home at like 3 in the morning and then, so we're not going to Texas. I have a lot of family in Texas, and my Oklahoma family usually comes to Texas, but our whole month of May is like crazy. I think once Daniel goes racing this next week, it's like 6 weeks in a row. And for trucks, that's a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you also have like Mother's Day and Memorial Day. So that was like kind of the only weekend that we could do her party on. So we're just gonna stay back.
Yeah. Yeah,
Chill out.
Texas is one of the far ones, you know.
Yeah,
And it's a night race, I
yeah,
believe, right?
yes. Yeah, most of the truck races are night, so it's
Yeah.
a little hard, I feel like, when we're flying and stuff to take both the littles. Like, Ren does pretty good with the late night stuff. She'll sleep in the next day. Rustin, not so much. I feel like you put him down at 2 in the morning, he's still gonna wake up at 6:30 or 7, He doesn't know the whole time thing. His clock doesn't run like that. He just wakes up at 7 every morning.
Yeah, that's funny. That's
Yeah.
how Bear has become. If the sun comes up, he's awake. And then
Yeah.
like when we come back from Seattle or something and we're so stuck on West Coast time, he
Mhm.
adjusts right away. And it's neither one of the other kids did that. It's a very unique thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
He'll just
Ren
pop right
Ren
up.
can if she goes to sleep late, she can usually sleep in a little bit. Not anything crazy, but she'll sleep in a little bit. No, not Rustin. He is up at the same time every day.
That was one of the big life changers for us when we had kids, which I mean, we had Oakley, she's almost 8 now, but like when we first had her,
Yeah.
before that, and I mean, even when I was pregnant, I mean, we were up till 1, 2, we'd sleep in till 10. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't even need, because like racing was so late at night a lot of the time that we just got like so adapted to that sort of
Yeah.
schedule. And it's funny because now, no matter what, I mean, no matter how late you get home from a race, like you do
Mhm.
kind of just have that internal clock and you kind of wake up. And
Mhm.
sometimes when we're at tracks and the cars will start, they'll do the like ride arounds or whatever, and or like even
The
the
spin.
dryers that they're putting on the track, and it'll be like 7:30. We're up. We've been up. We've had coffee, whatever. But sometimes I'm like, there are some of these young guys that are still just totally asleep and will be for hours. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
some,
The flyovers at Daytona
yeah,
at whatever time in the morning.
yeah.
Did that happen again this year?
Yes, they were
Yes.
horrible. And
Our poor kids were terrified last year when all that happened. Um,
allegedly, those flyovers were so bad that I guess it shattered someone's windshield of their motorhome. Yeah.
no,
Can you freaking imagine? I don't know
no.
who it was, but someone at MRO was talking about that when we were in Daytona, that the
Mm,
flyovers were so low and loud that they were definitely setting off car alarms. I kept hearing that
yeah,
like every time they would do it.
yeah,
But I guess it cracked someone's windshield in there. It didn't
yeah,
shatter it, but it like cracked a big crack or something like that. I need to get more information on whose it
yeah,
was because that's crazy. I'd be so mad if that
yeah,
happened. It's so hard to
yeah.
replace that.
I just felt so bad for our kid. Our poor kids were like, they would like hunker down and like
Terrified.
cover their ears. And Daniel texts on the NASCAR thing, and then somebody was like, "Take the kids outside," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool to see it like 3 times, but like this was like every morning, like 7 times," and I'm like, our poor kids, like they don't. Yeah, but
I know. I'm like,
craziness.
can we get a little bit of an idea of a schedule of when you guys are going to be doing this? Because
Yeah,
I really don't feel like throwing my phone in the air out of fear or whatever. Like it was terrifying when they would fly over.
terrifying.
Yeah. So those were still
Yeah,
there. That was
yeah,
such a frustrating
yeah,
thing because Oakley wouldn't, couldn't handle being outside at all. But
yeah.
yeah.
The fun things
Well,
that happen early morning racetracks.
yeah, exactly. While others are probably just like asleep and sleeping through
Sleep.
it.
See, that was the good thing about Ren. Ren, when she was younger, we could put her to sleep late at night and she would sleep till 9 or 10 in the mornings. Like we got to her to our schedule. And that was another thing I think when Rustin came along. He wasn't adapting to our schedule. Ren adapted to our schedule real well. Like she just fit right in and she just went everywhere with us. She slept in the mornings. And when
Yeah.
we had that second one, the whole transition from 1 to 2, because he was a different animal, he was on his schedule and his time.
It's usually always it's either your first or your second that does they're never the same. And I
Yeah,
hear so often when people had that really easy first baby that
yeah,
it was the transition from 1 to 2 that was hard. Like for us,
yes.
our first baby rocked
It
our
was hard.
world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
She
got spoiled
was
with Red. Red was our little. She just did whatever you wanted her to do. She wasn't a very hard baby, and Rustin wasn't a hard baby either. He was just his his time. He always slept pretty good. He just always you woke up at 7 instead of Ren would wake up at 9. Like
yeah.
when she started preschool, we had to move her whole bedtime around so she wasn't sleeping till preschool started. Just a different. Kids are so different. Everyone's
I
so
know.
different.
They are. They're all so different. Yeah, Oakley was it was probably just that it was our first two and we didn't know what the heck we were doing. So,
Yeah.
it was a lot. But
Yeah.
she's so easy and good now. And I
Yeah.
mean, she really was a great baby. I was telling someone recently, like, how cool would it be to be able to go back and spend just like a week or something with each one of your
Yeah.
newborn babies? Like,
I know.
I would just
I
soak
feel
it
like we
up.
don't we don't cherish it in the moment, and that's so hard. Like you tell yourself you are, but then I feel like you don't. Like I just wish I could go back into like the newborn scrunch, where you take them out and they're just mm.
And their little
I could
legs tucked
I
up.
want another one just for that.
I know. And I mean,
Daniel will
I'll tell
probably
you
won't.
what, a third baby is a gateway to a fourth baby. Cause like
They need a
he's
playmate
been,
too.
I
I'm
don't know.
just kidding.
A couple days ago I was like,
Are
all right,
you
I'm
guys
done.
done having
Three's good. Three's great.
you're done having kids or you don't know?
No, I don't know. I mean, I think we're gonna have a fourth, but
Yeah.
if you asked me a couple days ago, I think I was done. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because they were driving me crazy, everyone.
Daniel's always had it in his mind that he wanted to adopt. So maybe
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe we'll adopt a baby one day. And Ren really wants a girl. And I was like, well, if mommy has another baby, we don't get to choose. Like, mommy doesn't get to choose. It's just whatever God gives us. And then maybe if we adopt, maybe we can, I don't know. I mean, hopefully they'll just give us whatever needs help. But I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. We're open to options.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
yeah.
We think about that too. Like, wouldn't it just be so freaking cool to kind of bookend this with another little girl and then
Yeah.
we'd be certainly done, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you say, you try to soak it all in and it's hard to. I mean, we're human,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
man, they're great kids. Well, it's been so great to talk to you. I just love hearing your story and everything. I feel like we just have so much to relate on and
We do.
I always
Yeah.
just
And it's so
enjoy.
crazy for me, like thinking at the very beginning, like how our paths crossed back in 2007. Like
Yeah.
for your brother, obviously, and then I was probably I don't know if I was in bandos or legends back then. I have no idea. It was such a long time ago, but yeah, just crazy to
It's
think
so
all the
cool
little
how our
paths
worlds,
cross.
yeah,
Yeah,
our worlds collided
yeah,
years ago and we didn't even like realize and now we're friends and
yeah,
it's so cool. So I'm really happy for you and Daniel. You guys are, like we say, soaking it in all of these moments. I mean, you guys are in such an amazing season of life right now where you are just getting to do a little bit of it all and I'm just so excited for you and I'm happy for you guys and I literally like the second he crossed the finish line text you hell yeah
yeah,
on that win
yeah,
and it's just and I mean beyond that just the fact that you guys are getting to have this time together and your kids are so sweet and yeah I'm just happy for you guys so
thank you guys. Thank you. Like I said, we cheer for y'all too every weekend. So we cheer for our ex-colleague family.
thank you you're so
All
sweet
right.
I know that's weird and I appreciate it
No, we always want the best for people. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Everybody. We just want the best for everybody.
Yeah. No, it's evident, and I think that's beautiful, and we feel that way too. It's Ty always
Yeah,
says, "High tides rise all ships." I mean,
yeah.
rooting against someone isn't going to make my car go faster. Like
Nope.
it's not.
Nope.
And we are this family in this weird way that there's so much competition. We're a family. It's such a cool temporary time of life, and I think that you and I and Daniel and Ty, we see that and understand that and embrace it. So yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and
Thank you.
good luck with
All right.
this rest of the season. And Daniel, hope maybe he can pop off and win a truck championship.
Yes. Yeah, well, that would be exciting.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. I'm so grateful you spent this time with us. It means the world that you're here. And if you loved this conversation, make sure you check out the show notes for all the links and any resources we mentioned. I would love it if you followed me over on Instagram and YouTube. This is where I like to share things about my life, little tidbits about our family. And hey, if you enjoyed this episode, the best way to say thank you is by sharing with a friend, leaving a review, and rating the show. It helps this conversation reach more people who believe in the good. See you next week.